What's up, guys? Justin here with the RenderingEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp and Vray tutorial for you. So it's been a while since I did a Vray tutorial, and I just wanted to kind of go through setting up a simple scene and seeing what kind of result we can create. So this is a great place for beginners to start, because I don't want to get super in-depth and get into like ultra photorealistic or anything like that. I just kind of want to walk you through some of the basics of what can make this look really good. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. So I think a lot of the problem with a lot of Vray tutorials is they just get too complicated too fast. And so what I wanted to do is I just wanted to go through it and I just wanted to create a room, like a simple room or a simple space, and just create a rendering based on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here, and all I've done is I've just created kind of a rectangular space, nothing special. We're going to go ahead and make these walls 12 feet tall, and I'm probably going to group all of this. So you should know how to create something like this in SketchUp. If you don't, let me know, and I can link you to some basics videos on my other channel. But in this case, all I'm doing is I'm just kind of like filling this space in, and I'm giving all of these faces thickness, just so when we do our view on the inside, light won't be leaking through or anything like that. And so if I turn on X-ray mode, you can see that this is just an empty box. And what I want to do in this case is I actually want to create a window off to the side. So I'm just going to go inside this group, and I'm just going to draw on this face, and I'll just pull this so that I have a hole in my building. And again, don't get too caught up in this right now. We're just trying to create kind of a simple scene. And so what we're going to do first is I'm going to set up a camera view inside of this space. So I'm just going to use the position camera tool in order to set a camera up here, and then I'm going to set my eye height to something like, we'll say 6 feet. And so what we've done is we've just generated a simple space with an opening and 4 walls, and then I've got my camera in here, and I'm going to push my camera back. I'm probably back about as far as I can get, and you can see how this is kind of you're not getting a whole bunch of you're not getting a very good view. So we're just going to click on the zoom tool. We're just going to click on the zoom tool, and we're going to set our field of view to maybe something like 65 degrees. So you can see I just clicked on the zoom tool and then I typed in a value of 65. We may end up changing that, we'll see. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off and I'm going to run a test render. And so I'm just going to click on the render interactive. I will note I'm running Vray 3.6. And so when I click on render interactive, what I'm going to get is I'm going to get a space that looks kind of like this. So you can see how the light's coming through, and it's lighting my space a little bit. So I do have a little bit of light in here, but you can see how it's not really enough light to have a great scene. And so what we're going to do for this scene is we're going to start off and we're going to cheat just a little bit. And I wouldn't even call it cheating as much as amplifying our lighting. And so what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to add a Vray rectangle light. So in order to do that, you go to the Vray lights toolbar, and you're just going to look for the rectangle light. And what I want to do is I want to create a rectangle light that kind of covers this opening. So I'm going to rotate my view over here a little bit, and I'm actually going to take this light and I'm going to scale it so it gets a little bit bigger. And I'm going to move it off of the wall just a touch, maybe like 3 inches or something like that, just so I don't have to deal with the faces kind of running into each other. And so one thing I should have done that I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a camera view and I'm going to save it. So I'm just going to go to View, Animation, Add Scene. So now I have a scene that I can go back to. Well, now if we go and look in this space, you can see how what this is doing is this light is actually lighting this space better than the sunlight coming through the window. So like for example, if I was to open up my asset editor and I was to turn my rectangle light off, you can see how we definitely have some light coming in through this window generating this shadow, but not nearly as much as if we had our Vray rectangle light turned on in here. And so for right now, we're going to leave this as is. There are some things we can do where you can actually see the window and stuff like that. I don't want to mess around with that too much for right now. And so what I want to do is I just want to add in some different assets from the 3D warehouse, and I'm probably going to speed up this part of the video just because you can pick whatever assets you want. It's more important just to get them in here. So I'm going to add a bed and a couple bedside tables and probably some pictures on the wall. And one thing to note about this is some of these models that you bring in from the 3D warehouse are not scaled properly. So like this bed, you can see, for example, is way too big. So sometimes you'll have to like resize these objects. So I'm going to do this by 0.5 and then just kind of get them to the size that they need to be. So there's just kind of some playing around with that kind of thing that has to be done. That is one thing I really am not a big fan of in the 3D warehouse, is it's not curated, meaning anything that gets put in there, nobody's checking it to make sure that it looks good or anything like that. So now let's go back and take another run at our interactive render. So if I click on this and I turn my interactive render back on, you can see how what I have is I have this bed in here, I have the pictures on the wall, things like that. So the first thing you're going to notice is it's not very bright in here. So things don't look very good. Just from a lighting standpoint, you just don't have enough light in here. And so you generally have two options when you're dealing with something like this. So the first thing you can do is you can adjust the intensity of this light. So I could definitely bring the intensity of this light up to something like 100 or something like that. You have to be a little bit careful when you do something like that though, because it really kind of washes out your image. So kind of what I like to do instead is I like to go into my settings tab under camera and just adjust my exposure. So maybe we'll bring it down to something like 12.5 or something like that. So you can see how you can adjust that exposure value of your camera in here in order to brighten up your image as well. And the nice thing about that is that means that you're not like really burning out your lights or anything like that when you do this. And so this actually looks pretty good the way that it is, but one thing we're really lacking in here is we're really kind of lacking on any kind of textures or anything like that. So what we want to do is we want to go back in and we want to replace some of these textures with V-Ray textures. So, and you can get as in-depth or not as you want. You can actually see that this renders out to be a pretty decent image. One thing I don't like is I may try to do something with some lighting in this back corner over here, because it kind of feels like the light over here is way too bright and the light over here isn't. But even then, I'm pretty happy with the way that this looks. So just those settings by itself, just a rectangle light at 25, and I'm on the default units, and then exposure value of 12, you can see how that's getting us a pretty decent render. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to start playing around with some of these textures and just kind of setting them up. And really all I want to do is I just want to replace them with V-Ray textures. I don't want to get too far into maps or anything like that because I'm trying to keep this simple to give you an idea of what you can do. So I'm just going to swap out the wood floor. I may use the UV mapping to apply kind of a fabric material to these pieces right here, and we'll see what we can come up with. And so just remember one thing about these different materials is you do need to come in here and adjust the size. And V-Ray actually gives you some hints on this. So this is 120 centimeters. So if I do 120 centimeters to inches, that's actually going to want this to tile at about 48 inches. So you can see how as I come in here and adjust this, that resizes the size of the texture material that's being applied down here. So, and I could pick a larger or a smaller wood floor if I wanted to. I might go to like a wood planks or something like that. But again, just remember as you do this that you're going in here and you're adjusting the size of these different materials. So one thing you may notice is when you come in here and you apply something to like this kind of bunched up sheet, you can see how SketchUp isn't doing a very good job of mapping that to this material. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to select this object. We're going to triple click on it to select all the geometry in it. I'm actually going to make this a group. So because this is mapped a little bit odd, you can kind of see some seams in here and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to go down to the V-Ray UV tools. I'm just going to click on this button for triplanar projection world. And what that's going to do is that's actually going to come through and that's going to map our materials to this face a little bit better. So we still do have some seams, so if you're going to do some like super close-ups or stuff like that, you might want to work on it more. I'm pretty happy with the way that that worked out. Actually, that mapped that pretty well to this group. Alright, so I've gone through and I've kind of applied some different materials to this and everything like that. So now all I want to do is I just want to kind of run my render and see what I get. So if I click on Render Interactive, what that's going to do is that's actually going to render my space. And so the first thing is my camera is way too far away, so we're going to kind of zoom in and focus on this space right here. And you kind of have to be careful. You have to think about the composition of what you're trying to create here. So like for example, you have to figure out where your camera is going to be, what you want to focus on. In this case, the field of view is actually too wide. Probably what I would want to do is maybe angle this down and then possibly decrease the field of view so there's actually less in your camera view. Sometimes less can be more in a situation like this. So I'm going to kind of try to center this in my space right here. And so I'm actually pretty happy with this image and the way that it looks when I'm kind of zoomed in here. So, and one other thing I wanted to talk about just for a second is as of right now, the only thing that's kind of unrealistic about this is you've got this like giant bright thing sitting here throwing the light in, and it's lighting your image just fine. I kind of like the way that it looks, but you're not getting like the shadows coming through the window because this isn't really casting the shadows. And so what we may want to try, and a lot of this just depends on the look that you're trying to get, what you may want to try is you may want to go into your asset editor for that rectangle light, and you may want to change it to invisible. So if I go in here, for example, and I go down to the options for this V-Ray rectangle light, I turn it invisible, what you get is you get the sunlight kind of streaming through the window. So that light is still there casting light in here. Like if I turn off the rectangle light, you can see how this is going to be really dim and it's not going to look very good. But if I turn the rectangle light on and then like let's say for example that I was to go into my sunlight and maybe adjust the size multiplier. What the size multiplier will do is that'll as you adjust it up, it'll make your shadows more soft. So the larger the size, the softer your shadows. So if I was to adjust this to something like 8 or something like that, you can see how the light coming in here shows through, even though you're also getting light from the invisible V-Ray rectangle light. And you can also adjust where that light is coming from or where it's being cast on the wall by adjusting your shadows inside of SketchUp. And one thing you may note is right now you can't see that in SketchUp, so you can't see where the shadow is because SketchUp sees this V-Ray rectangle light as actual geometry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this V-Ray rectangle light, and if you go into the entity info, there's a button for don't cast shadows and also a button for don't receive shadows. Oops. So if I click on this V-Ray rectangle light and I turn off casting shadows and receiving shadows, that means this isn't going to block the sunlight coming in anymore. Now, when you adjust your sunlight settings, inside of SketchUp, that sunlight is also getting reflected inside of V-Ray. So you can also use that to kind of adjust the way that your camera view looks, and you could add drapes and other things like that as well. But you can see how you can use this to create a simple, fairly realistic rendering inside of V-Ray, and now you can kind of build on top of that. So I'm going to save that as a scene. And then the last thing I can do if I want to is you can kind of mess around with like the aspect ratio of these as well. So like for example, if I go into my asset editor in the settings, maybe I don't want this to be wide, maybe I want this to be tall. And this may not be the best view for that, but we'll mess around with it anyway. That's kind of what this video is for. So if we go down to our render output and we click on this safe frame, that's going to show you inside of SketchUp what areas are going to be contained in your camera view. And you can adjust your aspect ratio. So let's say you wanted this to be kind of a taller view. You could go down to like a 4:3 or 4:5, and you can see how that's kind of adjusting the it's adjusting the field of view in here and adjusting kind of what's rendered. And I don't necessarily like that particular aspect ratio, but you can adjust those things as well. And then once you've kind of got the view that you want, you can go in and you can do your final render. So you can do that using you can click the drop down and click right here, and you can use you can do a render with V-Ray. And probably what I would do is I would adjust the dimensions of the image that you want to create first. So in this case, I'd probably want this to be either like a 1280 by 720 or even larger. Just remember that the larger that gets, so if I do like a 1920 by 1080, that's going to render a larger, more detailed image, but it's also going to take longer. But once you've kind of set that to what you want in your render output, you can just click here and just let it render out. Alright, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then if I open up my rendering file, you can see how I've got a pretty decent looking rendering for the amount of work that we put in. And so there are definitely things that you could add and change, but this should give you kind of an idea of just the general setup of what you can do to start getting decent results inside of V-Ray. So leave a comment below, let me know what you thought, how helpful this was to you, if there's some things I left out. I'm sure there are. I was trying to keep it kind of high level, but I'd love to hear what you guys thought about this video. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to subscribe for new rendering videos every week. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.